Nitro, but I'll tell you, it's more than a walleye boat. This is a multi-species boat all the way. You could fish for anything, including even saltwater if you were on vacation down in Florida. The most incredible thing about this boat is how solid it is. It's a fiberglass walleye boat, most are aluminum, and I'll tell you, this thing just we're beating through Table Rock Lake near Branson, Missouri. It got a little rough earlier, and this thing just coasted right over it without a problem. We're powered by the Mercury Verado 300. Can you imagine that? 300 horses on a 21-foot walleye boat. And we got it running right now. It's incredibly quiet. All we can hear is just the lake lapping on the hull, and it's a pretty pleasant experience. And you get that supercharger kicking in, and you got some great performance. We got on plane in 4.2 seconds to 30 miles an hour in 7.7 seconds with a top speed of 61.8 miles an hour, which is moving right along. Let's head back to the dock and check out some of the features. Now, Gary, I know this boat on paper looks like just a walleye boat, but there's a lot of things you can do with this, isn't there?
Yeah, you know, the thing about this boat, Alan, is that the premise is it's literally two boats in one. You've got the front half of the boat, which is a large workspace. It's designed like a bass boat. And it's because in walleye fishing, or in a lot of types of fishing, you're pitching jigs, you're vertical jigging river systems, you're working off the front deck. Whereas the back half of the boat is much more for the troller's aspect. So you've got that sort of flexibility. So really they call it a walleye boat, but it's a boat that you can literally do almost every technique there is in the fishing world.
Well, I like the fact you got room for the big screen Lowrance here,
yep.
And looks like you're ready for tournament fishing, and I think you do a little of that yourself, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I came through from the tournament walleye aspect, and this front deck is great for that. I mean, it's got a padded front deck like the really good bass boats. A couple of little extra things though. Besides the big storage area, and we have a built-in cooler. Here's a middle bucket.
Nice.
It's a bait well, and we've got oxygenator systems in there. So again, depending on what you're fishing for, you've got the flexibility to use live bait too. So it's a cool deal.
Now, what about rod storage on this?
Rod storage is really cool. You've got a situation where, because it's was a boat designed for walleye fishing, there are so many techniques, from pitching jigs all the way to trolling with lead core and trolling with various things. We've got 4 levels of rods. Each one will take up to an 8-foot rod, or actually even a little bit more than 8 feet. So it's easy for me to get 20 or more rods in this rod line.
Wow. Now, I was just checking out the helm. It looks like my art director's desk with all our computer screens and everything. Looks like you're ready to go here. This one's rigged with 2 10-inch Lowrances there.
You know, the challenge was, when we talked to the engineering team here, they said we'd like to have a console. We know that, you know, having fancy looking consoles is important, but I want a functional console. And most of us will run 2 big screens. I want to be able to see them, but yet see over the top of them when I'm sitting, so that I can drive the boat without having the units in the way. I don't want to have to mount a unit over here on the gunnel. I want to be able to look straight on the screens, but yet I want to have the capability of seeing every gauge on the dash. This is the first console that I've ever seen where it does all of that.
Yeah, me too.
These guys did a fantastic job with the layout on the console.
You know, I like the seats too, because they have pedestals raised. I think every boat should have a adjustable pedestal, because we're not all the same height.
Yeah, they do, and these seats are a suspension style seat, so that, you know, after a year's use, the foam won't crush down on them.
Right.
They're actually a sling suspension system for a smoother, softer ride.
Not to mention your spine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool. What else do we have going on here?
You've got these 2 huge areas of storage, and you've got 2 areas back here that are monstrous storage, but they've got drop-in boxes.
That's cool.
And the drop-in boxes are cool because you can load them up, but take them out and get at all the pumps and stuff underneath if you have any maintenance situation. And then a really big live well, and it's also aerated and oxygenated. So it's a cool deal. It's got just about every little bell and whistle you can think of. It's really a nice boat overall.
Well, I noticed you have another kicker on the back in addition to your trolling motor up here. What do you use that for?
Well, you know, in almost every boat that you can buy today, If you want to go at a trolling speed that's slower than 2.5 miles an hour, you're going to have to figure something out. You know, whether that's a 300 Verado or whether it's a 40 horse 4-stroke on a 16-footer, they're all going to push those boats a hair too fast to troll spinner rigs and some live bait rigs.
Right.
So that's where the kicker comes into play. There's a range of speeds from about a 1/2 mile an hour all the way up to about 2.5 miles an hour that the kicker takes all those duties. And it does it without loading up, and it's a smooth running kicker. So that, I mean, you see that, it's very common in the north for guys that are doing a lot of trolling to use the kicker for that boat control style aspect. That's almost all speed orientated.
Have you seen any rods laying around? Let's go, man.
I hear you, man. That's a good idea. We should do that.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.